Hi guys, something new today, a voiceover video. Let's see how it goes. Don't be too harsh, please. And I do know I have an accent. So anyway, I wanted to talk about real quick what you already saw in the thumbnail and the title of the video about the differences between realistic art, which is extremely popular right now, especially on platforms like YouTube and Instagram and these kinds of stuff. And the thing that I do kind of, which as you can see is pretty much as far from realism as you can go. But anyway, the way I see it, and this is also related to kind of what is art and what is not art, and this kind of stuff is, for me, art comes from a personal need of the artist. That's why everybody's art is completely different. It doesn't matter if we talk about paintings, sculptures, literature, movies, anything that can be categorized as art. Everybody is different because it comes from a very personal need within that person. So in that sense, everything that a person creates is art. Now, whether it's good art or bad art, this, I honestly don't want to get into this right now. But also there is a process with artists, and I always use Picasso as an example just because he's so widely known. I mean, every person on the planet heard at least of Picasso, and probably so his late paintings, these weird faces with the noses and eyes and everything. I might put a picture of one of them here just to remind you, which personally I don't like. I don't like at all this period of his, but I can appreciate it because the way I see it, Picasso, the thing with him is he was so good technically so early on, like he was so gifted. He didn't have a problem with capturing likeness and understanding anatomy and perspective the way most artists need to work on this stuff relentlessly. Again, you can see here why. He didn't have a problem with that, so never. I mean, the man worked. He did a lot of studies, drawing, sketches and stuff, but for him it was pretty easy. So eventually what I believe he started doing is he started drawing ideas and a concept and a feeling here and there, and he just started playing with how much he can stretch it. Honestly, he seemed like a person who would do that just to like see how far he can go, and people will still like his stuff just because it's Picasso. So yeah, I kind of lost my point here. I forgot what I was talking about. I'm not going off a script for the first time, at least. I'm just randomly talking on the general subject of art. So anyway, in that sense, I understand why he went where he went. I don't necessarily like these paintings. I prefer his blue period, and he's not even necessarily my favorite artist. But I can appreciate it, and anybody can learn from that, from his work. So yeah, which is better, realism or some random stuff, or the sketches I do, or there is not a definitive question. There is public for everything, and they do bring different things for the public. So for example, with realism, extreme, especially when it's extreme, the way it's so modern right now, it brings a lot of admiration for the skill of this artist. Like, wow, how did he do that? How is this even possible? It's like a real photo, right? And that's my personal vision of it. And with with other stuff which are not so realistic, literally, it's more of a emotion that brings. And for me, in a sense, this is a little bit more sincere. But the thing is, you do need to understand realism and to be to be able to do it technically in order to do what you want to convey with this painting, let's say. Because like Salvador Dali, which everybody knows about him, if you take the elements out of his paintings, they're all extremely realistic, but when you combine them together, you get this surrealistic thing of what the F is going on here, and it's like a fever nightmare, right? So no, basically, there is not this is better and this is worse. They're different things. They evoke different emotions in the viewer of the set piece. They evoke different emotions in the artist, because when you do a study and you're set on the goal is to copy these, let's say it's a skull, you do an anatomic study on a human face, so you need to draw a skull and it needs to be the exact replica of the skull you're looking at. It's a different feeling compared to when you just draw something that comes from within. But the thing is, like in this case here, I tried to I don't know, looks like Lord of the Rings expired. I've been rewatching the series lately. Kind of like a Nazgul thingy with a horse and the hooded man and yada yada yada. You do need to base yourself in realism in order to get out of it, sort of like you can't. First you need to learn the rules in order to be able to break them. I guess a lot of you already heard this sentence. But yeah, none of them is necessarily better. There are people who are better at one thing compared to the other, but that's also okay. I mean, we don't need... Imagine if everybody was doing the same thing. It would be horrible. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. And maybe, I don't know, as you can see with me, and if you've watched a couple of my stuff already, my style, let's say it's a style, it's called sketches because my style is sketchy. I mean, I do like the unfinished look of most of my stuff. And also another thing is with me is I can draw only at one go, meaning I need to sit down, start it, and finish it in one session. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Believe me, I tried. I cannot go back to paintings and sketches and drawings and work on them one and more time. So in that sense, it can be a very sketchy feeling, a little bit more light, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, but there are people who they can work on a piece for months, and I admire them from that. And that's the cool thing. Everybody is different. We do different stuff, and we can learn from each other and not focus on who's better and who's not. So yeah. Anyway, bye.